Welcome back, everyone, to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts as we continue our quest for world domination. I am, for the first time in 4 years of game time, going to design a new heavy cruiser. This one can go all the way up to 14,000 tons. We need some more heavy cruisers because we need that firepower that they can offer, but in a ship that has a low enough tonnage that I can park it in some of these ports that I'm gaining around the world that can't handle a full battleship that maybe have 15,000, 16,000 tons. That they're able to support. So this is going to help me kind of secure the shipping lanes and secure these new ports that I'm gaining through conquest. So 14,000 tons is what we have available to us. Like I said, it's been 4 years of game time since I had a new design. So there's a lot of new technology that I did not have before that I have now. We're just going to start with some of the basics here. I do want to try and extend the range on these as much as I can. I also want to try and get a little more speed out of it. I'm going to see if I can go all the way up to maybe 25 knots. I do like the new design of the heavy cruisers. We're just going to plop these towers down for now with the idea that eventually we're going to maybe move some things around once we start putting everything else in there that we need. Oh yeah, we're going to have plenty of engine efficiency even with one funnel. We could probably go down to a lighter, cheaper funnel, in fact, if we want. Gross funnel 1. Oh yeah, that's going to still give us plenty. Main guns now for a heavy cruiser, we can go all the way up to Mark III 11-inch guns, which I'd like to be able to do, especially now that we can do triple turrets on those. Of course, the tricky part is finding space for one up front. There we go. We can get one up there. So, yeah, we've got a lot of extra space here. I definitely want to be able to do some secondaries and some casemate guns, some 5-inch guns would be good. We can throw some on the back. I'm just going to pepper this thing with as many 5-inch guns as I can squeeze onto it. Still have plenty of weight available to us, but we haven't started adding things like the rangefinders. These get really expensive. Watch the cost go up from $76.7 million to 80 million. So 3 million just for the stereoscopic rangefinder. Then we're going to add the hydro for acoustics. We can actually put depth charges on this bad boy, which is really nice, especially if we start dealing with submarines from other nations. So I've pretty much added all the protections and changed everything around the way that I like it with all the latest tech. Now we've still got a lot of space available on this thing. I'm wondering whether or not we go with another main gun or we would go with some secondaries. We can only go up to 5-inch secondaries. We could add torpedo launchers, which might not be a bad thing to get a few of those going. I'm thinking maybe some triples back here. Are those even? Yeah, they are. I wish I could put them down here, but I can't. It doesn't quite work like that. Of course, putting these on the deck obviously makes them susceptible to fire from surface guns that could blow those up pretty easily. 19-inch torpedoes. I do want to get some more secondaries. I'm thinking maybe we put some more torpedo tubes on here. And then put some super firing guns, like maybe just one big super firing gun here in the center. Like an 8. I kind of like that. It's a weird looking design, but it's pretty functional for what I want. We've got a lot of 4-weight there that I got to kind of deal with, but unfortunately there's no easy way to deal with it. I don't like putting that gun that far aft, but I really don't have a lot of choice on that. Let's put some more protection on this thing, and then I'll just try to balance it out. Just adding to the main belt and main deck armor alone are going to add a ton of protection to this thing and get it balanced out. But you can see the 4-weight offset is climbing all the time. This thing weighs 384 tons. The gun weighs a little more than that when you add the barbette, but it's basically a wash. I'm going to try to shift everything back a little bit. Try to get it a little more balanced. I think that does. Yeah, that's a lot better now. And then, of course, the rest we can do just by adding to our armor. Still got good efficiency. We've still got plenty of tonnage to work with as far as protection goes. I want to add some more belt armor to this thing. Alright, we're maxed out on belt armor, at least on main belt. Maxed out on main deck. I'm going to protect the tower a little more. Nice thing is we can put a lot of armor on this thing. Okay, I feel pretty good about the amount of armor that's on it. I'm going to go for a little more speed now. Actually, it looks like we might be able to go all the way up as high as... the engine efficiency is going to drop now. So now what we do is we go back to a more efficient funnel. That's going to get us to 91. How about hyper funnel 1? It's going to take up a little more space. We're going to have to move the gun back up a tad. Still not quite there. Honestly, engine efficiency isn't that huge of a deal. Although, again, I could move this up some more, and I think that would solve the problem. So these are just the little things you got to play with when you're doing this to get it where you want it. There we go. Now I'm pretty happy with all of that, and we still have some weight available, but I'm not going to fret too much over that. Could we go up to 28.5 knots? Yeah, we could. I think we'll just stay at 28. We don't have to use every bit of this weight. I'm pretty happy with that Rhineland heavy cruiser. So I've got my first one scheduled for build now, and we're just looking at the different ports that we have available to us. Mauritania, we could station one there. Congo Free State, we're going to be able to put something pretty big there too. So as I queue up more of those, we'll assign them to the different places. We are currently at war with the French and the Japanese. It's actually been a pretty even war with Japan, but that's mainly because I don't have any big ships over there in the region where we're doing potentially the fighting. It's mostly just small ports that can't do a whole lot. Here's some nice new tech that we've got. Improved triple turrets. Triple turrets become more reliable. We've got a 10% reduction in reload time, 5% turret traverse speed. That's how fast they're able to move to get on target, and a plus 5% to accuracy. So those are nice things to have. We're still inflicting a lot of transport losses. South Pacific, we're losing some, so we're going to need to get some of a greater presence out in the South Pacific to be able to deal with some of that. Peleliu, we don't have anything there. Looks like we've got one destroyer in Agana, nothing in Saipan. We've got Truk. We've got all of these ports with very little in the way of capacity. I could send something to Friedrich Wilhelmshaven. I think I actually might have something lined up to go there. Oh, we do have... What do we have over here? We've got quite a few ships. We've got more than we can actually handle. So I'm going to send the Unsinkable 2 to one of these other ports that can handle a little more. Yeah, let's go there with Unsinkable 2. And we're going to have to maybe build some subs for coastal defense in some of these other areas. We do have one port over here on the Pacific side of things that can handle a decent size. So Qingdao, I think we're going to go ahead and queue up one of our battleships that's currently being constructed to go there. So let me go ahead and sort everything by year and see what we've got coming up. Actually, this one just came out. I should have assigned that one, the Friedrich der Grosse. 10 months away from the Zeringen. Maybe that's the one that we'll send over there. There we go. Yep, let's do that. It's still a year away, but that'll give us at least one battleship out there. Well, we've captured Equatorial Guinea and Niger as well, so we continue to make our conquest of Africa nearer and nearer to completion. We're going after what remains of France's colonies in that region. French Sudan over here is the next one on the docket. You can see Italy's got quite a presence. Obviously, Italy is becoming our big enemy, so we're going to continue to increase tensions. I want to take on the Italians at some point. We've got full oil burners for the first time, so you can see how that affects things. But I like the idea of being able to do 100% oil fuel moving forward in our ships. Of course, that means we're going to need oil for that, but we are continuing to work toward war with Italy, but we've got a long way to go to achieve that. I'm trying to send more of a presence down into the Mediterranean so that we'll maybe drive up that tension a little bit. So I'm going to take, what do we have here, the Posen and the Dessau. We're going to move them over here into the Central Med. And we've got other ships moving to take their place in the North Atlantic. There's a big fleet right here. I'm hoping I can run into somebody with that at some point. New technology, destroyers up to 1,500 tons of displacement. That's actually going to be really handy. As we were talking earlier about the need for destroyers in some of those South Pacific bases, we also have 20-inch torpedo tubes. Gabon has been conquered. So let's go ahead and take a look at the updated situation. In Africa, you see France has very little territory left. Looks like the British have some in the south part of Africa. Portugal's got a little bit, and we're closing in on what's left of the French. Building up a new destroyer. We're going to put some torpedo tubes of varying capacity on here. That way they'll reload at different times, and we'll always hopefully have some available to us. Put a couple 5-inch guns on the front and back. We've got a 2-inch gun right up here at the top. That's not going to do a lot, but we definitely want to make sure that we have the ability to both lay mines but also find mines and anti-submarine warfare. So we're going with our new technology of depth charges 3. So that makes this a rather versatile ship that can do a little bit of everything for us and be a nice kind of addition to our fleet. I think we can go all the way up to maybe like 35 knots here. We can. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not too worried about the pitch and roll because we're mostly using this for things other than shooting. I think that'll work out just fine. So let's start building a bunch of those. So here are the destroyers I just queued up, and we're going to be putting them in places like Lerwick, that's in the Shetland Islands, I think. A couple in Saipan, some in Ghana, Peleliu, Truk, Lorengau, and then one in Haiti. So we'll kind of spread those out, and we'll definitely build some more along with some more submarines once we have some more capacity. Oh, so we've got ourselves a nice little agreement with Canada. Enhanced economy via trade and shared oil resources. Canada's ports can be used as supply centers. We can sell warships to Canada, and we can use their ships during war. Romania wants to buy some of our destroyers. The problem is we're already at capacity on our shipbuilding. So for now, we're going to say no. 310 million in profit, though. You know what? I think we'll just queue them up and take our chances. French Sudan has been conquered. So we're one step closer to pushing France off the continent. They only hold now some coastal regions. And I'm sure we're going to be moving on that pretty soon as well. So remember just a couple of years of game time ago when my yearly naval budget was, I don't know, $8 billion a year. It's now $28 billion a year. Our Army budget is $80 billion. So we have a better naval budget than anybody else except for Austria-Hungary, who's equivalent to us, which is really interesting. Nobody else is anywhere in the same realm as us. Even the British are down to just $8 billion now. So that just goes to show you the impact that success has had. Army budget, we're right on par with the United States and better than pretty much everybody else. So we really are the dominant power in the world at this point. So we're going to keep cranking out ships, keep building up that Navy, keep projecting our power throughout the world. New technology and hull strengthening. New hulls available, Dreadnought 4 and 5. Also semi-automatic gun reload. Single hull with external light hull sections for our submarine technology. So all of this is to say we've got some new toys to play with. So let's go ahead and take a look at them as we see what happens with the world situation. I'm going to continue picking a fight with the Italians. It looks like I can't do it this turn. We're still at 35 on the positive side, so a long way to go. Oh my goodness. 61,000 tons with the Dreadnought 5. Dreadnought 4 gives us what? We can go all the way up to 57,000 tons. Oh my goodness. This is going to be fun. What shall we do with such technology as this? Seems like every time we get new tech, everything else is already obsolete. So we're going to suddenly double the size of our Dreadnoughts. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have too much fun with this. Can we go even bigger? I mean, I guess we can if we make it wider, right? We can go all the way up to 64,000 tons. Oh my gosh, this is going to be fun. All right, so here we go. We're not going to have a ton of armor on this thing, but it's going to be so loaded with firepower, I don't think that's going to matter a whole lot. Just because of the technology, we're going to be able to light people up pretty quick. I've got most of the latest text that I can put on this thing. I only went anti-torpedo 1 just because I'm not expecting that torpedoes are going to be too much of a threat, that I need to go all the way up to anti-torpedo 3 because it's really heavy to put those anti-torpedo bulges underwater. And I've got enough other protections with anti-flood, triple hull bottom, reinforced bulkheads that I'm not too worried about that. I'm still just going with the 14-inch guns because in this case, we're still dealing with Mark 1s on the 16s, which means they take 3 times as long to load as the 14s do. I'd rather get triple the number of shots off than get the bigger shells. So we've got a total of 18 14-inch guns on this thing, in addition to 12 8-inch barrels on the side for some secondary support. So it's going to cost $1.8 billion to build one of these things, so we're not going to make too many of them. Looks like we're going back to war with the United States. We're going to keep on fighting with France the best we can, but bring it on, U.S. That's the only Navy that's anywhere close to the size of ours. Looks like we've got a new coastal mine layer submarine. Wow, speaking of mines, the U.S. taking some major damage among a ton of their ships from mines. Not sure where that's happening at, but yeah, we're already way over shipbuilding capacity at the moment. All right, we need to take on the U.S. in a battle in the Caribbean. We're going to have the Graf Spee and the Gneisenau, both with 11-inch guns, up against the Columbus, a couple of light cruisers, and a destroyer. This one should be fun. All right, here we go. We're already making contact. Gneisenau up front, Graf Spee behind. Go ahead and slow things down here a bit. We're going to start turning. They're already in torpedo range, and we've got to spread in the water. I'm going to slow down to real time, I think, for the time being. We've got 6 torpedoes headed his way. Now, granted, it's going to be tough to do a lot with torpedoes against small ships like this. Oh my gosh! But our big guns just lit this guy up. A light cruiser. He's definitely going to get away from the torpedoes, though. He's already got torpedoes in the water on us, though, so we got to be careful here. I don't know where those are. I'm going to go ahead and start turning toward him so we can avoid wherever those torpedoes are. I don't see them yet. I'm going to go ahead and slow down as well. Now, his heavy cruiser here, yeah, it looks like they're going to avoid most of them. Yeah, I think he's safe. But we took out the Astoria already. We just put a few more torpedoes in the water. If nothing else, it causes him to maneuver. We got to be careful here because we're going to hit one of our own torpedoes if we're not careful. I just barely missed that thing. Alright, there's a torpedo coming our way. I'm just going to go straight here. Because yeah, going straight, I'll easily avoid it. Alright, Columbus is the big ship in this fleet that we're dealing with, and we're getting inside his torpedo range now. As the game goes along, torpedoes are going to become more and more of a problem because the range is just going to keep on getting bigger, and the accuracy and all the performance of those torpedoes will just improve steadily. Oh boy, okay. Time out, time out. He put that one on me in a pretty good spot. There might not be a lot I can do to avoid this. I could go all stop and see if that helps. I don't want reverse. I just want to... I just screwed up my engines by hitting reverse there, and it's still going to hit me. No, maybe not. Oh my gosh, it's going to be close. Ah, he's got me. Darn it. It's a dud. Beautiful. Three more in the water. Obviously, just about no chance that we're going to hit that light cruiser. Alright, let's finish off Columbus. I'm just going to keep zigzagging to avoid any issues with his torpedoes. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and target his light cruiser and try to blow this thing out of the water real fast before he puts torpedoes on me. Because he does have the ability to hit me right now. Alright, let's zip around this way real quick. I'm sure he's going to put torpedoes in the water in a few seconds. Jeez, he's like right next to me. If he throws torpedoes at me now, there's nothing I can do about it. Here they come. Or was that me? Alright. Buffalo's toast. See if we can finish off the Columbus now. And then we'll go after the destroyer. Torpedo in the water. We have avoidance on already. Destroyer's so fast. Nothing I can do about those torpedoes. Yeah, that hurts. I really should have probably gone after the smaller ships first just to neutralize the torpedo threat. There we go. Now we go after the last guy. My engines are still damaged pretty badly, so we're not getting a lot of speed at the moment, and he's at a tough angle for Gneisenau, but I think Graf Spee should be able to take him out. There we go. Alright, that could not have gone better against the United States. We did take some hits. I'll have to put in for repairs. But overall, 8,700 victory points, only 39 crew lost to 1,500 for him. Canada wants me to build them a Nassau-class battleship. It would be a profit after 28 months of construction of $2 billion. That's more than my entire naval budget is right now, my naval funds, I should say. But it's going to take up a lot of my shipbuilding capacity to do that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to build them one of those 60-some thousand ton ones, because that's just, I mean, that would tie up so much for so long. I want to build a few more of those myself anyway, so let's go ahead and queue one up. So you can see here we're making our moves on the last of the French presence in Africa. We're going to pretty much push them off the continent. That's going to leave it to a little bit of Portuguese presence, a little bit of British, and then a whole lot of Italian. So we're continuing to try and pick a fight with Italy. No, I don't want to improve relations. I want to increase tension. We're up to 72 now, man. We just cannot go to war with these guys for some reason. We now have 9,000 meters torpedo range, More accuracy, less of a chance of duds. Now, we are dealing with a major transport issue since we went to war with the United States. South Pacific, West Africa, North Oceania, and the Caribbean. So we're going to have to deal with that because we're definitely losing transports like crazy all of a sudden. I did mothball a few older ships, so we're going to go ahead and sell some of those. But let's take a look here. They said West Africa, but it's the Japanese that are messing with me down there. So we're going to have to send some help down to West Africa. I have plenty of ships available to help patrol that region, so let's go ahead and send a few of them down. Prince Nassau, Doofenshmirtz. We'll send the Veneta as well. Caribbean, we're going to have to send some more presence there. I do have some ships on the way. Who do we have here? Yeah, we've got a couple of battleships here already, so I think that'll help in the Caribbean region. I think we're already there, but I'm going to make sure that that's where they're at. Well, Western France has been conquered by Italy. That means there is no more France. It's either controlled by Italy or Germany at this point. So France really only exists in its 4 remaining regions in Africa, and we're currently invading 2 of those. So France is about to cease to exist, although I would guess they'll keep existing anyway. They do have French Guiana over there. They might have a few other things here and there. This is what you might call a one-sided battle. I have 1 battleship going up against 4 American battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, 10 light cruisers, 5 destroyers, and 7 torpedo boats. Yeah, that is a total of, 29 ships? What could go wrong? I mean, I've got a decent amount of firepower, but nothing that's going to be able to take on all of that. So what I might try to do here is see if I can't pick off a couple of ships or at least do some damage, and then turn and run as quickly as humanly possible. I definitely don't want to wait around for him to get in torpedo range, even though I can only go 23 knots, so he'll probably be able to catch me anyway. I don't even know who I'm shooting at the moment. Well, it looks like I'm shooting at one of his battleships. We did land some hits, but it didn't do a lot of damage. So let's slow down and get some accuracy. Alright, alright. I like it so far. He's got 4 battleships. And if we can keep doing what we're doing right now, we'll sink one fairly quickly. Oh, yeah, there goes one of his turrets. There goes another one of his turrets. He's pretty much neutralized. Honestly, I'm going to go after another ship now instead. I mean, it'd be nice to sink him, but the damage he just suffered, that thing's going back in for probably 6 or 8 months of repairs anyway. So we'll start going after another target. As long as we keep him at this distance and we don't take any major hits, I think this will work out. And having these 14s, they reload pretty quick, you can see. So far, I'm protecting pretty well. We're getting a lot of overpen right now. There we go. Beautiful. Now he's turning. So I think we'll go after the, let's see, the Truxton. 13-inch guns. What kind of armor's he got? Plus 78, so it's pretty good armor. Although mine's quality of plus 115. And now we actually have Krupp 4 armor. We just researched it. So ships moving forward are going to have the Krupp 4. I like how this is going so far. plenty of ammunition. The hits he is landing aren't doing much. Didn't do much there, though. Alright, let's stop running away for a minute. Now the Truxton's running away. So I guess we'll go after the Arkansas. If nothing else, what we're doing is we're causing some damage to his big ships, and then what I can do is I can start sending more big battleships to this region so we can force a big showdown with a little more even of an engagement the next time. Everybody else is behind the smoke screen except for the Arkansas. These are all going to land behind him. No, we got a couple hits. See, I've taken 5 hits. Oh wait, I've taken 10 hits, but only 400 damage for all of that. Now the Arkansas is going to turn and run. But they've got flooding like crazy. Like to the point where oh, there's a flash fire. There goes his front turrets. I think we sank the Arkansas. Bye-bye. Beautiful. Alright, he's coming back toward me. Beautiful. Love it. And now we just got another one showing up that's got a lot of damage. And I think that's who we're going to focus on, see if we can sink this guy. A couple more hits ought to do the trick. What's our 4,000 damage. We're at 18 kilometers and landing hit after hit. I love it. Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt bad. That's the first decent hit he's had on me. Alright, we might need to start thinking about getting out of dodge. That damage did enough, too, that we actually lost sight of the enemy. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of here. Alright, so that was a victory. We caused severe damage to one of the North Dakota class battleships. We sank the Arkansas. And we got out of there with not too much in terms of losses, 79 crew members. So what we definitely need to do, though, is we need to send help to that region so the next engagement's a little more balanced. All right, we're going to finish up this episode with this battle here in the Eastern Mediterranean, where you see that the United States controls Lebanon and Palestine. So we're going to be hitting them there, and I think we need to send a bigger presence to the Eastern Mediterranean. But we've got the Saxony, which is one of our Admiral Graf Spee class heavy cruisers. But we also have 6 destroyers, and we're going up against the Massachusetts and 14 transports. Absolutely awful weather here in the Eastern Med, and it looks like we're actually spotting the transports first. His ship's actually on the wrong side of the transports to be able to protect them. So we're about to have ourselves a field day. I'm going to send the Saxony right toward the transports. We're going to try to zip around with our destroyers on either side. We'll pour a bunch of torpedoes into them there. And then we'll try to get at the battleship when we can. You can see even my destroyer. Oh, wow! Oh my gosh. Alright, we just sank a transport, but we also had one of our destroyers get absolutely lit up. But not before we put a couple torpedoes in the water. So, let's get our smoke going. Give ourselves a little more protection. Numbers are our friend in this one. There's just too many of us for that battleship to take on all of us at the same time. But he is still a battleship. I mean, the lack of visibility actually, I think, helps me a lot in this particular battle, where we've got a ship with big guns to deal with. You can see those 5-inch guns on the new destroyers are actually doing quite well against these transports. If we can sink all 14 of these transports, that'll be a major blow to the Americans. There's a torpedo hit on a transport. So what's the Massachusetts got? He's got 13-inch guns, so that's a big threat, especially when he starts firing them at my destroyers. Oh boy. I might need to try and be a little more aggressive with my torpedoes. Oh, he just put them in the water anyway. Perfect. Alright, Saxony's coming right into the middle of all these guys. I gotta be careful here because, of course, torpedoes coming from my destroyers. So I'm not gonna go into the middle of the transports. We just lost another one. Leaves just one destroyer on this side, and it's an older one. But we did just get a torpedo hit on the Massachusetts. Alright, I'm going to start firing my 11-inch guns on the battleship. Oh, his 13s are firing on me now. Let's be careful here. Alright, we need more torpedoes in the water on the battleship. I'm going to be aggressive with that. What's the range on these ones? These only have a 3-kilometer range. That's one of my older destroyers. And he's too far out of range at the moment. So we're going to have to close best we can. Alright, Saxony, let's be careful here. I'm going to turn toward this battleship. Ugh. Completely blocked. We might need to get out of here. Yeah, let's get out of here with the Saxony. Disengage. We do have a couple torpedoes in the water. And here go a few more. Or one more. Oh boy. About to lose another destroyer. Alright, let's detach that one. And we're about to lose that one. Yep. Any chance on these torpedoes hitting? Nope, they all missed. We just... there goes the Saxony. We just didn't have the firepower to take on the transports and the battleship. We did sink a number of transports, though. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Saxony's taken a bunch of hits, but at least we have the angle, and that's helping us at the moment. We're actually doing some damage to the Massachusetts. If we can survive long enough, cause a little bit more flooding damage, I think we might actually do this. Oh. Problem is my accuracy just gets worse as we get further away. If nothing else, we did severe damage to his battleship. And we're still sinking. We're still hitting some transports. Ooh. to switch to armor piercing. See if we can't penetrate him below the water line somewhere. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, I think we're too far away to really do much now. So how'd that end up? It actually ended up still in our favor. Or no, in his favor, I guess, as far as the victory points go. Because we did lose 4 destroyers and some heavy damage to the Saxony. I don't know why it's showing Massachusetts as not even light damage. I mean, that thing was in bad shape. So that's a little disappointing. But we did inflict 1,000 crew losses. And we did sink 7 of his transports. So not a terrible outcome. But we'll wrap it up right there. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.